guys, I'm back. Okay, we got a new video. So for all my procrastinators out there, I have pulled together the 9 ways that I'm defeating procrastination. They've been extremely effective. These are life hacks, and I hope that they help you. So I've been probably fighting procrastination for like years. I'm a person who gets things done, so I think at the end of the day, like, no one notices. But I wanted to share the effective strategies that I've found with you guys in case you guys battle it as well, because I've noticed so many people battle procrastination. But I think the number one question, the place to start, is to ask yourself why. Why are you procrastinating? I think for me, it's like fear of not performing well. And then also the other top one was just like it seeming like a dreadful task that would take forever. But then you reach the realization that the longer you take to do it, that just gets packed on to the time. So it's like you might as well just do it. Anyways, these are my 9 tips, or the 9 ways that I am defeating procrastination. I hope these life hacks help you. Number 1, just start. Just do something. I'm gonna link this girl, Amy Landino, I believe is her name, below. She has a YouTube video. She covers procrastination a lot. She mentioned just attributing 15 minutes to starting the project. And I thought that was such a great suggestion, and it worked for me because sometimes you're just dreading it, right? And then there's times, I'm sure, where it's just like a band-aid. You rip it off and you get started and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. But you waste so much time dreading it. So I love that one as my first tip. Just start it. Give yourself 15 minutes. Commit to that. Do it and then take it from there. Number 2 is baby steps, okay? Bite-sized pieces. Break it into bite-sized pieces. So for example, I love taking courses on lynda.com. This is not an advertisement, however, it is a really good site. But I take online courses on there, and at first glance, it says like, oh, 5-hour course. So I'm like, oh, okay, 5 hours is nothing. But then you find yourself like, okay, I can't find 5 hours to put aside to do this course. So what I started doing with that one is I broke it up into bite-sized pieces. And I think the key, at least for me, was breaking it up to something that just felt like, oh, super easy. So I did 15 to 20 minutes a day, like 3 days a week. And that felt like nothing. Before you know it, I was done. So I know some people might still be like, but I don't want to do that. I want to do just bang it out 5 hours and keep it moving. And to that I say, if you can do that, do that. But if weeks have passed or days have passed and you still haven't honored your commitment, whatever that is, even if it's a commitment to yourself, well then you know what you gotta do. Number 3, theme your days. So this one, who did I hear mention this? I believe it was Shannon Boodram. And I thought it was such a great suggestion. So she themes her days. Say today she works on Instagram content. Tomorrow she works on pitches. The next day, etc., finance or something like that. I think that's a great solution for someone who stays home and can focus, or has an office and can focus solely on their venture. But for someone who has a job, what might help for you is theming your weeks. I found that to be helpful in a space where you only have 2 hours after work to work on your stuff. It kind of interrupts the flow in the process if you're constantly like 2 hours, then you jump to the next thing, 2 hours. It's like you never get to fully pour into any particular area, so will it really grow, So I like themed weeks. Same example. This week you work on social. This week you work on editing videos. This week you work on pitches. And then of course in between, like, maybe on a lunch break or something like that, you'll follow up and things like that. Number 4. So sometimes people debate me on this. And I think what it all boils down to is what works for you. What works for me is reflecting on how badly I felt when I was procrastinating. And so what I ended up doing was recording a video to myself, encouraging myself to do it and just reminding myself this is what you do not want to experience again. Now, if you are a person who is more responsive to the positive, you can record a video saying how great you felt when you didn't procrastinate. Both have worked for me. It just depends on what the subject matter is, whether or not I do one or the other. But that's tip number 4. Number 5, delegate. If it is not your job, whether you're at work or it's your own thing, and you're not feeling like doing it and you're busy and you've got other things to do, pass it on. Do not hold on to it if it's already making you feel crazy and it's not even your job. Tip number 6, get it done early. Procrastination and stress live in the same family. So if you're someone like me where when things pop up last minute, you get kind of like annoyed, anxious, overwhelmed, anything within that family, then getting the things done early allow for space for anything that might pop up. And when I say anything that pops up, like it could be something at work, it could be friends. For me, it was more so like, you know, friends wanted to hang out. I'm like, oh, but I gotta get this done. Get it done early, it creates time for it, and then you just feel better. Okay, number 7, take note of the places where you are most productive. So like for me, I'm a producer, a video producer and editor. So when I'm writing scripts, the best places for me to write scripts are on the subway and in the park. Random, I know. I get my best ideas when I'm going for long walks or I'm in the shower. But the theme with those things, or at least for the ideas, is no distractions, and then just a good scenery or a good visual for me, calming visuals. So if you can figure out the theme of what it is, what location you need to be productive, depending on what it is you're working on, that's a major help. Number 8, I am a checklist and template fiend. Organization is really the theme though. And I love templates and checklists. Like even to make this video, I did that because I don't like having to think about things more than once if I don't need to. So if I have a checklist, I can just easily refer to it. Okay, what's the equipment I need? Bam, we're there. What items do I need to get when I'm recording? Bam, it's there. And I don't have to sit down and think about it again. And honestly, it just saves you time, which is amazing. Anytime you can save time, it's great. And then that's probably why you feel better when you have to do something and you have all these like checklists and templates to refer to versus having to start from scratch. The last thing I will say is batching as much as possible. So like for example, with these videos, I'm shooting 3 of them at a time because ain't nobody got time to shoot things individually. You know how long it takes to set up? Once again, anxiety builds, we trying to fight procrastination. Those are the 9 ways that I'm defeating procrastination. If that helped you, please pass it along to your fellow procrastinators because this is something we need to get over, like seriously, like ASAP. It is probably the thing that's standing in the way of you and your blessing, and like once again, ain't nobody got time for that. So click that like button if you liked it, comment below, let me know which point stuck out to you the most, and then share it. And if you like this video, you probably don't like this video, so go ahead, check it out because I'm sure it's got some life hacks that you need in your life. Thank you guys, I appreciate y'all.